Hey guys, as you can see, I did quite a bit of cleaning inside the piano, and just doing that made an enormous difference. Then I started having a look at the action to see if I could sort out the problems that they were there. I am here in front of the action of the piano. I have already fixed a few things. You can see these new pieces there, these straps that make the hammer work. Basically, there is that one there. 3 of them were broken, so I put new ones that I had brought with me from the UK, knowing that this was an existing problem. The only inconvenience is that the new straps are much longer than the old ones, so somehow, fiddling around with it, I managed to make them shorter. The advantage is that they only have to be clipped on to the hammer instead of being glued into the hole where that little piece of wood goes in, so a little bit easier to put a new one this way, much more practical. Other issues to solve is to glue. This is a damper here, to glue a couple of dampers. This one I just glued. The bigger issue is this, the spring of this damper here is out of action, and it needs, from what I've gathered, a special material to go in the little hole there that holds the spring into place. In the forest there, sometimes there is a hummingbird who visits this spot. As you've just seen, I've managed to fix a few problems, nothing too difficult to sort out, and then I started looking at a little bit more challenging issues that need fixing in the action. Here you can see the mechanism relative to one note or key that I've taken out of there. You can see the hole for the screw. This is the damper relative to this mechanism for this key. And the main problem for many keys, the most likely main problem for many of the keys not working properly, are these little joints here, basically the stiffness that has developed in this one or more than one of these 3 little joints. I call them joints for the purpose of explanation, also because I do not know the technical terms for all these things. And this note, as I said, was working quite well, and if I try to move the hammer, you see there is still stiff, but it moves all right. This one was not working very well, and if I try to move the hammer, you see there is much less movement. Then it seems that another common problem is not this joint here, but this one, the joint of the jack. This one is okay, but in the case of this one, it is quite stiff, which might be contributing to the problem here. So apparently, to fix the issues with this stiffness in the mechanism of the piano, there are 2 solutions. One is to change the pin in those little joints that I just showed you, and the other one is to try and lubricate them with a very special lubricant. This very special lubricant I had planned just in case to bring it with me here to Brazil, but unfortunately it was flammable and I couldn't take it on the airplane. So I've managed somehow to find one supplier in the whole of Brazil and I've ordered it. I just don't know if it's gonna get here in time before I leave the country. It has definitely been a very interesting experience for me to take the instrument apart and get to know about all the details of the mechanism, and by doing that I have perhaps understood a little bit more about the origins of the piano, which has, as you've seen in previous videos, a German name, Winkelmann, has also an action with a German name, Schwander, but made in England potentially in 1959, and then it has this wooden case here with no name on it. This makes me think that a possibility is that a South American person, potentially in that year of 1961, which we saw stamped on one of the keys, took parts of different pianos to then make this one as a sort of hybrid. Or maybe the person restored an existing German piano with different parts. So let's see if the resuscitation of my old piano will manage to progress on this trip I've made to Brazil, or if it will have to be postponed to the next one. See you soon, guys.